Welcome, everyone. It is Wednesday. I've got my fingers crossed for sunshine. But who got the lawn mowed last night? I did. Sure did. I was tempted to mow my neighbors, but the way my feet were and the palms of my hands, I said, oh, I am tired. But I did do some of it for him. Anywho, I was at work and the radio DJ, she said, oh my God, let me tell you this story. I didn't know this. This is what she said. Eagles. You know, eagles are absolutely, oh, they are incredible. They can see 8 times what we can see, right? I forget how many degrees they can turn their head. Well, their eyes, that is. 340-degree field of vision? I think that's what it is. And they can fly 10,000 feet in the air. Listen, the eagle is fascinating. And not only is it fascinating, but the eagle is handsome. Absolutely beautiful, that bird. Let's not even talk about the wingspan. My word. And they do build the largest nests. Well, I figure they would. You got a wingspan like that, you can... And babies, and they mate for life. So you need a big house, right? But anyway, I digress. She said, did you know there's only one bird that pesters the eagle? I said, who? Let me get closer for this. The crow. The minute she said, can you guess? I thought to myself, there's only one bird I know who's got such audacity. The crow. Now, what does the crow do? Allegedly, the crow gets on the back of the eagle. Mid-flight, yeah? And he begins to peck at the back of the neck of the eagle. Why? Well, it depends. Is the eagle flying over the crow's territory? They don't just do it for shits and giggles. Anywho, here's this eagle with this wingspan, with a crow on his back, pecking. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen the acrobatics of an eagle, but they don't play around. The eagle, she said, doesn't even fight back. It doesn't get angry. And I thought to myself, because I'm listening to her story, I thought to myself, well, the only thing the eagle can do is fly higher. Because to dive, well, that's not going to shake the crow. So the eagle flies higher until the air gets so thin, the little crow falls off. Now, when I heard that, now to me that is amazing. How the eagle doesn't fret, doesn't argue, just flies higher. They fly above storms, so they don't have to get wet. Hello? But you know, only the eagle, right? The eagle is, yes, the eagle is bold. It is. But the crow, do you know what it takes to get on the back of the largest raptor? It takes audacity. Why am I telling you this? Because it doesn't matter that the eagle flies higher and deprives that poor little crow of air. That is irrelevant. You see any other bird getting on the back of that eagle? Is it because they're smarter? Nah, it's because they're scared. The crow, on the other hand, is audacious. So why am I telling you this? Because there comes a point in our lives when we have to be the willingness, we have to have the willingness to be bold. And you look at your problem, you can call your problem whatever you want to call it, but it will take your audacity. Let me see if I can flip over to the definition because I pulled it up, but I did not commit it to memory. Audacity, a willingness to take bold risks. That is the crow. I'm not looking for a spiritual meaning because we've already found it. The willingness to take bold risks. You see, I spoke to you about the garden and how to use the garden as a metaphor, a psychological one to help you change your lives. But look at the crow. Listen, I love the eagle. I really do. You know what it takes to fly above a storm? Jeez. 10,000 feet in the air. You understand what that is? They are majestic. They are beautiful. Listen, it is on the flag. Well, it's not on the flag, but it's their national bird. Our national animal is the beaver. Mind you, a beaver is a master builder, is it not? All of these animals are cute, but we don't just stop there and say, oh my God, they're so cute. No, look at them. What do they do? And how can you apply what they do to your life? Now, not at any time are you worshiping an animal. You're not worshiping anything. That is not your role in the world to worship anything. Your role in the world is to observe and apply. That crow, oh my God. I, they're ballsy, I tell you. But they are very intelligent as well. Crows, ravens. This woman has a crow and she taught it to speak. Hey! She taught it to speak. Because it is intelligent. It observes and it applies what it observes. Dare I say, it is its nature to be audacious. It knows its nature. The eagle never asked anybody, hey, can I fly up there? Nah, the eagle just has wings and said, let me fly. I tell you, I watched Biscuit, and Biscuit runs around and hops and flies and is so excited with those wings. Oh, yes, she is. So I figured, whatever it is I am learning, I have to bring the same enthusiasm, just like Biscuit does, the same enthusiasm. So today, the crow is audacious. The willingness to take bold risks. What is that bold risk? Now, we think that a bold risk has to be something outlandish and crazy. But in actuality, that bold risk could be looking at your life and saying, whoa, wait a minute. I've been doing this same pattern for quite some time. I no longer want to do this pattern. I would like to do another. I would like to do something else in my life. You have to have the audacity to live, my friends. The audacity to live and to become. That's a movie. I think it's called Live and Become, about the survival of this family, a mother and son from a refugee camp. I do believe that's what it is. I could be wrong, but I know somebody on fan base will look it up and tell me. I know. But the audacity, the willingness to take bold risks. You see, people just see the crow as being a nuisance to the eagle because the eagle is so grand. You can't ever take that away from the eagle because it's an apex predator. It's the top of the food chain. It doesn't have a natural enemy other than man. So it is already strong. It is already bold. It is already many things. Fascinating to say the least. But I ask you, because the crow originally had no idea how that eagle is going to respond. It had no idea. But that didn't stop it. It had no idea how the eagle was going to respond. The eagle could have turned around and just pecked it once. Caw-caw! And then next thing you know, it's over. But no, the eagle did not argue. It just elevated itself. This is why I love Psalm 139, verse 10. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. The reason why I love it is because it says if I rise on the wings of the dawn. The eagle doesn't argue. That doesn't mean it doesn't have a temper. You try going near its nest. You'll know which God you're serving, I'll tell you that. I don't ever want to be caught unawares. Oh, no, not by them. And we have some here when you go out into the mountains and the rivers. Oh, my. Everybody stops to look at how beautiful and majestic they are. But nobody asks what type of courage it takes to get on its back. And it's not courage, it's boldness. Boldness. Audacity. So today, whatever that situation is in your life, do you have the audacity? Well, you could pretend you're a crow. The crow has the audacity. Do you? If you, and see, this is the thing. When we observe, we can adopt their characteristics for ourselves and say, whoa, wait a minute. If I become like that, to get on the back of anything, well, you're not looking at the fact that the eagle flies higher, which depletes that poor little crow of oxygen. That's not what you're looking at. What you're looking at is there isn't another bird that has the audacity to do what it does. There isn't one. Not that I've read about. Right? Where is it in your life that you need to apply audacity? The audacity to change from what you presently are to what you want to become. It really does take audacity, or else we sit in it and we remain as we are. You look at the tenacity of the crow. The tenacity. That's why I tell you, it doesn't just jump on the back of an eagle because it can. It is a defense mechanism. If that bird is in the vicinity of its nest, it is a protector. The crow, right? So today, what's that problem that you think you cannot overcome? Well, like the eagle, you can rise above anything. And how does one rise? You rise mentally. You have to rise mentally. The moment you make the decision in your mind to say, I am that, ooh, I am, you've risen. The moment you say that, the moment you decide what you want to become, you have risen mentally. Indeed, you have. It's as simple as that. So, oh yes, cyber, brazen impudence, that of the crow, the audacity, yes, it is brazen impudence, and Neville Goddard did speak about it. You have to have that brazen impudence. You know, normally they use brazen for a type of woman. Oh, indeed, to describe a type. Oh, she was brazen, honey. Mm. Yeah, brazen. Normally she will wear red lipstick, but you know what? I digress. That brazen impudence. To be impudent, allegedly in the dictionary, is to be rude. You, this is how you'll say it to yourself. You, nobody's gonna stand in your way. No, not for you to accomplish things. You gotta get rude about that. Impudent is what it is. And you make that decision. Because once you make the decision, everything turns to go towards that decision because it is law. Moving yourself into that, pardon me, direction is a cause and it will bring about the effect. And your only instruction is to remain faithful to that which you have chosen to become. It's not a, yeah, but it's too hard. You know what? It's the love of it that will make you stay the course. It really is. So today, my beautiful friends, whatever that thing is in your life that you think you can't handle, yes, you can. It doesn't matter what it is. Like I said, you can slap any name on it that you want. You can say, oh my God, I'm so lazy. Oh my God, I deal with anxiety and depression. Oh my God, I deal with this. Oh my God, I deal with that. You can say, listen, you can name it whatever you want. You can name it whatever you want, but it does not stand a chance when you hold it up to the light of the law, of the principle. You know why? Because the moment you decide and you look yourself in the face and you say, I am that. That is the new me. I am that. Yes, I am. The moment you turn yourself in that direction and you persistently remind yourself of what you are. How does one persistently remind themselves? It sure not is with vain and empty words, I'll tell you that. You remind yourself by answering the question, what would it be like if I were audacious? I told a lady yesterday she's got some chick Cassidy. She's got some chick. This is a chicken, right? I said, girl, you got some chick Cassidy. She sat there. And because she's just doing what they naturally do, they like to scratch at the ground to forage. So she's so cute when she does it. But you see, I have stuff taped to the ground and the wall so that they don't poop on my carpet and wreck it. This girl and her audacity. She picked at that tape with precision. And she pulled it back ever so much that she could sit on it. I came up the stairs and I saw her. I said, oh no, you don't, Missy. Oh no, you don't. Don't think I don't holler at that chicken. Of course I holler at the chicken. And she looks at me. She would just look at me. And I'm like, come on, man. You're not gonna clean it out. So I put it back. And she pulls it off again. I said, this chicken. But anyway, you and I have to have the audacity to look at our lives and say, I know I want to become this, so I will behave like it. Because remember how you do it. You do it by answering the question, what would it be like if? What would it be like if I were the man or the woman I wanted to be? What would it be like if I were audacious? Man, I'd walk into a room and I would say hello to people. You got that right. And what if they didn't say hello back? As a Jamaican would say, me not care. I don't care. Or as the young people would say, I'm all out of, you know what? I have no F's to give. I'm all out of it. You know? You don't care. The, the eagle is not concerned with the opinion of the crow. So you can also adopt the attitude of the eagle to be non-bothered. Just rise in your mental attitude and turn yourself towards that which you declare yourself to be. Over and over again, you rehearse it. What would you rehearse? Well, if you were audacious, what would you be doing? Do you think you'd be, Miss McQueen, hello. Do you think you'd be cowering in the corner? If you were bold? Pfft, no. You'd be like popcorn with his chest. I do not know what it is with popcorn, but popcorn does not cower into any room. Popcorn struts into every single room he enters. That chest is out, that head is up, and let me tell you something. I have him shaking out his feathers in slow motion. I have never seen something so glorious. So when you walk into a room, you do it with your whole chest. Hello. That's why they call it cocksure. Because he's sure of himself. He does not cower or bow to anyone. He will, however, submit to the older rooster. Because I've noticed something about popcorn. Popcorn is very observant. He's not going to fight you unless he must. See, this is what I'm trying to tell you is look at your situation and recognize that you don't have to fight where you presently are to get to where you need to go. You don't have to fight it. Why? Because fighting is futile and it will drain your energy. Because remember, you're not logically fighting, you're neurologically fighting. You're using logic to fight against neurology, and neurology is going to win hands down every single time. Because we are designed in that fashion to lay down a neurological pathway that we follow habitually. And I'm sure you've heard the term, the force of habit. Why? Because listen, a habit is like the ring in the nose of a bull. A habit is like a bit in the mouth of a horse. A habit is somebody having you by the balls. Oh, don't clutch your pearls. You know exactly what that means. If somebody's got them in the palm of their hand and they just apply any amount of pressure, you will do what they say. That is the power of a habit. You will comply with a habit. You don't have a choice. That is the power a habit has. But a habit only has that power because you gave it. You imbued it with that power. That is what makes a habit the way it is. Habits don't make themselves. We make habits by doing the same thing the same way every time. So if you want to make the habit of audacity, well, then you've got to rehearse walking into the room the same way. It doesn't matter what room you walk into. It matters not what room you walk into. Walk into it with the same mental attitude every time. You command that space. And it's not by force that you command it either. Oh, heavens, no. It's by knowing who and what you are that you can command any space. Or else what did you become? A tyrant? A bully? Oh, sorry, they never last long, do they? They appear to, but they don't. Because really, they're truly just cowards in the end. If you feel like you have to beat somebody down to rule, then you are not master, darling. You are a slave. You are slave to what? Your cowardice. Look at it and understand. A bold man does not need force. He draws. He draws the essence out of people by showing them who they are and what they're capable of. Yes, little bit. Welcome to the space, hunty. My handsome feller. Oh, mommy's baby. He commands any room he walks into. So you see, my beautiful friends, you rehearse your audacity. But here it is. It's not a game of pretend. You don't fake it. You do not fake your audacity. You rehearse it until it is the most natural thing to you. Because what would you be doing that proves to yourself that you are audacious? I didn't even know my son was that bold. He shook hands when he went to work that morning and he met everybody. They all shook his hand and he reached out and he had a firm handshake. He was not limp biscuiting anything. He had a firm handshake and he looked them in the eye. And I said, oh my, somebody's bold. I didn't even know that he knew he had it in him. But he rose to the occasion. So you see, you and I have to do the same thing. You look in your own eyes. Well, I can't do it for you. I can tell you from the outside to motivate you. But you have to look yourself in the eyes and inspire yourself to boldness. That's what you get to do. I don't even know if you know how powerful that is. I don't know if you know how powerful that is. And again, boldness need not be rude, as in disrespectful is what I mean. It doesn't need to be rude. It doesn't need to be disrespectful. Because here's the thing, when you walk with the attitude of self-respect, what does it mean to have self-respect? It means, in layman's terms, you put yourself in situations that you deem to be good for you. Well, I could say it the other way. You don't put yourself in situations where people can walk all over you. So if you don't put yourself in situations where people can walk all over you, what situation do you put yourself in? Ones that are good for you. Ones that edify and uplift you, where you also edify and uplift whatever room you go into. And that respect, because you are projecting it outside of yourself. It has to come from within first, of course. As within, so without. What does it feel like? It feels like courage. It feels like, I got this. It feels like, you know, you're a cool cat. Because I don't like using words like you deserve. Because the moment you start saying things like, I deserve? Deserve? You don't deserve. You create it. You push it out of yourself. It has nothing to do with deservedness. It has to do with, can you see it within yourself? Well then, Care Bear, stare it out into the world. Deserve. Pfft. No. Because if somebody comes on and says, you don't deserve that. Uh-oh. No. It has nothing to do with deserve or worthiness. It has to do with, do you see what you want to become? And if you see what you want to become, then you begin to rehearse what you would be doing if you were it. That is how you do it. You begin to, as Neville Goddard so eloquently says, experience in imagination what you would be doing in reality if you were the man or the woman you wanted to be. That is what you do. So where is the deservedness there? It is nothing to do with deserving. It is a boldness and the audacity to say, I want to become this. What would I be doing if I were it? Only you can answer that because you know your personality. You know exactly what you'd be doing if you were ... You know, if you had courage and you exercised your courage, what would your courage look like to you? You would walk into a room, how? You would say hello to somebody, how? You would shake somebody's hand, how? You would go to work, how? What would you do if you were courageous? That is completely based on your personality, on you, your nuance. If I were courageous, what would I do? What I'm doing right now. Hmm. That's what my father always admired, he said. He says, you can go anywhere and talk to anybody. And I always thought it was a weakness because I was told it was a weakness to talk so much. But what one learns is discernment. Yes, I may speak a lot, but I have to learn when to speak, what to say, when to say it, and to whom. So that it doesn't matter if I talk a lot. But having the what? Discernment when to use it. For the longest time, I still struggle with that, actually, for it being a weakness. Yeah, I sure do. Because I've heard it my whole life. From family and everybody else, including him. Mm-hmm. He's like, hush, woman, and just hold me. My sweet, sweet Rue. So, do you know how you're going to be like the crow today? You're going to be audacious. Oh, yes. Yes. You got to have the audacity to move through this life without a care. What do I mean without a care? I mean without a care of somebody else's opinion. What they think of you. Remember what an opinion is. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So when someone gives you their opinion, they are telling you and showing you what is within them. What does that have to do with you? If I don't like yellow, well, I'm going to think yellow looks bad on you, and I'm going to think, oh, it just washes you out. That's just because I don't like yellow. But if you like yellow, wear it. My word. Remember what opinions are. They are simply as within, so without. That is where we live from, inside. Every day, all day. Right? Anywho, don't let me keep nattering on. What does YouTube say? YouTube says I've been speaking for 38 minutes. Yikes! Well, let's welcome everyone who's here. Twitter is as Twitter is. Oh, look who's on TikTok this morning. Ow. Teehee. Now, if you're on TikTok and you can hear me, I love you. I cannot communicate with you because I am not streaming through TikTok. I'm streaming through, what is it again? Restream. Facebook, I know that they can comment in the chat and I'll see it. YouTube, who's here on YouTube this morning? Oh, Cyber is here. Shea Butter, I've been meaning to message you. You were on my thoughts. Well, in my thoughts last week. And I said, ooh, I should message Shea Butter. But here you are through time and space, answering my call. Yes. And the lovely Miss McQueen. Hey, girl. I see you. I see you over here in these YouTube streets. Ow. Yeah, like I said, Twitter is as Twitter is. Who's on Fanbase this morning? Z Music is here. Hey, stranger. Moon and Dolphin Duck. Michael, Ray Ray, and my sweet KZ is here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, if I didn't say your name on Fanbase, it's because I do not see you. Just so we're aware. I would not be rude to you. So this morning, as you go through the day, what would you be doing if you were the man or the woman you wanted to be? There is something you know that you would be doing. You know you'd be doing it. Well then, rehearse it. Because remember, you're not pretending. You're not faking it till you make it. No. You are setting down a neurological pathway. You are building a habit. You're building a habit that you are willing to submit to. That is why it is important to recognize what habit you're building. Because you don't just go out there and build them willy-nilly. Oh, heavens, no. Because if you do that, the nature of a habit is to compel you to act. That is its nature. So, can you live with the compulsion of that thing every single day? Well, then you better choose wisely what you will do the same way every time. Oh, indeed. The scripture says you choose this day whom you will serve. Hello? Who you will serve. Why that word serve? Because your habit. And here's the thing. Without the comprehension of the principles, it can appear as if your habits are Lord and master over you. Let me say it again a little slower. Without the comprehension of the principles, it can appear that your habit is Lord and master over you. It appears that way. But your habit is not Lord and Master because your habit was habit initiated by you. You did the same thing the same way every time. So who is Lord and Master? You have to know that you are Lord and Master of your habits. You put them there by your actions. You do the same thing the same way every time. So choose this day whom you will serve. What habit has you by the short and curlies? Or you can look it in its face and go, whoa, whoa, drop them, sir. You can tell your habit, you better drop these nuts. You know what? I say it that way so that the next time you are confronted with your present habit, you will laugh at your habit and say, wait a minute. You don't rule me. You only exist because I put you there. And I am replacing you. You no longer have me by the balls. You see, now next time you go out into this world and you think your habit has you, you will know exactly what to say. Because you may have clutched your pearls. Angela said, what? Yes, I said it. Now apply it to your own life. Your habits don't rule you. You make them, and they just do what they were created to do. Make you more efficient at whatever that thing is you are doing. That's what you designed your habit to do. Make you efficient and effective at the task. So if that task is smoking, if that task is drinking, if that task is getting up and going to the gym, you know what that task is. Does that task breathe life into you? Or does that task suck the life from you? Only you know. Well then, be like the crow and have the what? The willingness to be bold, the willingness to take bold risks. And when I say risk, I'm not talking about jumping out of a plane in a parachute. You see, all of our risks, when we follow the principles, are calculated. We calculated them and we know exactly how it's going to turn out. Because we don't function by blind luck. We experience in imagination what we would be doing in reality if we were the man or the woman we wanted to be, and then that is exactly how we live. Because the way we live is just a habit. Anywho, I think you get the point, yes? I don't need to prattle on anymore, because I don't need this Roo to holler at me talking about, oh, Mother, you gotta feed me now. I don't need him to be hollering at me. So are you going to be willing to take bold risks to change your life? You know how to do it. Whatever the problem is that looks like it's got you, remember, it's just a habit. It's just something you've done the same way every time. That's all it is. Now you determine, what would I rather be doing? And you begin to do what? Experience or rehearse in imagination what you'd be doing in reality. I keep telling you, the dancer, if they're taking the bus, they may dance on the bus depending on their level of audacity, but they've got their music in their ears and they are rehearsing the steps. Where? They don't look like they're dancing, but they are. Where? In their imagination. We live from our imaginations. And we scrub it out of our children, don't we? And then we tell them, go into the world and be creative. How, mother? When you've just scrubbed all the creativity and imagination off of me. But you know what? I digress. So the key is to foster your imagination by using it often. You can make a habit out of that. Hello? Anywho. Anywho. I love you. I do. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the love. And you know I look forward to seeing you. I eagerly look forward to seeing you right here Every morning, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Fanbase, and yes, TikTok. Again. Go forth and let me pull a seal. Fly like an eagle. Fly like an eagle and have the audacity of the crow. Peace out.